Y'all, this race between Talarico and Paxton ain't no joke. This past weekend, I think it was on Sunday, Paxton put out an SOS on Fox News Sunday. He said, "We need help." Can you imagine in Texas in August, a Republican candidate, a Republican incumbent, a Republican that's been in office several terms, putting out an SOS call, Fox News Sunday. He said, "We need help," because the Republicans are running scared in Texas. Talarico is proving, and the Democrats are proving, that this race is winnable. When Paxton put out the SOS, let me tell you what Jesse Waters did. Let me show you what Jesse Waters did. Jesse Waters said, we're not having it. We're not having it. This is funny. Let me share this with you so you can hear Jesse Waters' response to to Paxton's call for SOS help.
I agree. You got to hit him on the issues. And Paxton should be doing that. Where's Paxton? I've seen Mitch McConnell more than Paxton. McConnell's been in the hospital all summer. Get out of your hole, Paxton, and do something. I can't win this race for you. It's not on Fox. Go raise some money, do a hit, and lay the lumber to this guy. I mean, he's younger and he's got a little energy and he's new or whatever. But come on, if you lose this seat for Republicans in Texas, you should seek asylum in Mexico. This cannot happen. I agree. You got to hit.
Y'all think he playing? He ain't playing. If Paxton loses this race in Texas, and there's a very real possibility that he will, if these numbers hold, because every poll that you look at, every poll, even Fox's own poll, Talarico is leading. And it depends on which poll you're looking at. He's up between 3 and 5 points on Paxton. And the thing with Paxton is he is not a popular candidate among the Republicans. Talarico has raised something like $21 million more than Paxton. And that $21 million, according to Talarico's campaign, is coming from like 800,000 donors, from small donors. Now, Paxton tried to make, and the Republicans tried to make a big deal of that, saying that, okay, a lot of it was from, out of state. But didn't Paxton just put out the SOS this yesterday, nationwide, saying help, we need help in Texas? Y'all ain't never seen nothing like this in my life. I ain't never seen nothing in my life. And they are panicked. I just saw where a pack for Paxton just released an ad. I think it was like a $10 million ad by, it's in the New York Post, something about Talarico. See, and this is the thing. It's this silly stuff. It's not the issues with the Republicans against Talarico. They have to paint him as low T Talarico. They have to paint him as Talarico. All of these things. And this ad that just dropped, I understand. I haven't seen it. But it's him doing some kind of sex change, surgery on a kid or something like that. This is the kind of silly stuff that the Republicans are coming out with because they can't come out with anything else. And they are butt ticked. They are butt ticked because Paxton is not getting any traction with the major donors. So they have to resort to what they are resorting to, trying to make Talarico seem like he's something other than just, a Texan running for, a Democrat running for office. Let me show you this right here. And I blinked out his name. But these are the kinds of things that they're running against Talarico. This kind of stuff. Because they don't have anything else. And they are scared to death. Let me share with you let me find it. Let me share with you. Let me share this with you from Dan Patrick. Holier than thou, Dan Patrick. Dan Patrick is the one that said that Talarico was going to go to hell. Y'all, like I say, I've been at this a long time. I ain't never seen panic among the Republicans, and I used to be one for 4 decades. I never seen this kind of panic. But anyway, let's look at holier than thou, Dan Patrick.
Talarico is not known yet. So whenever you have someone who's new, sounds good, looks shiny object, well, once they find out about what he stands for, like God has multiple genders, the Bible supports abortion. Look, this guy, people sometimes say Republicans are injecting God into our campaigns. I do all the time. I'm going to talk about Jesus tonight, as a matter of fact. But this guy came out and said, I'm a moderate pastor. Well, he's not moderate, and he took some courses in the seminary, but he's not a pastor. And he's committing blasphemy against the Bible. I know it's a strong word, but when you say God has many genders, when you say the Bible supports abortion, and you criticize other parts of the Bible, I actually have said this and I mean it. I pray for him. No, we're going to beat him, but I pray for his soul, because if he continues this track of mocking God, it's not going to turn out well for him in the long term. So I hope the guy sees the light one day and realizes and said, hey, God, I'm tired of mocking you. Sorry I did that, because that's what he's doing. And that is the one area that the Bible is very strong on. Do not mock God. And that's all going to be exposed coming up. I think people are going to say, really, he said that? I mean, the guy liked to text. He's got a volume of text out there he's not going to be happy with when people see them. On the mic in the Texas House, he's been against everything we passed as conservatives. He's been against everything. He's tried to play himself as the next Beto O'Rourke, and he's going to lose like Beto O'Rourke. Talarico.
So, it's rich. It's just rich to hear a Dan Patrick and a Republican talking about blasphemy when it comes to the Bible and when it comes to criticizing some parts of the Bible, when Republicans totally ignore the whole New Testament of the Bible, when they totally ignore, that part about, love your neighbor as yourself, that part about welcoming the immigrants, that part of the Bible. But, the thing is, what gets him by Talarico, I mean, I'm a seminary graduate too. So he's a Presbyterian. I'm evangelical. I graduated from Dallas Theological Seminary, which is, evangelical. Okay. So Talarico irks them. He gets under their skin because they have not had a Democrat candidate that can go toe to toe with them on the word of God. And so it is funny. It's going to be funny going forward to see them twist themselves in knots, just like Dan Patrick did, to say that, he's blaspheming against the Bible and picking parts of the Bible, like the Republicans and the white evangelicals and the Christian nationalists haven't been doing all along. But what's getting them is that they got somebody who can go toe to toe with them when it comes to the word of God, and they don't like it. So they have to paint him as this. They have to paint him as this weird guy. This kind of stupid stuff like that. They have to paint him as that. But see, Paxton's problem is not just the Democrats. This race is odd in that we have not seen this before, because it's not the Republican candidate so much against the Democrat candidate. It's the Republican candidate against the Republican Party. Yes, it is that. And why do I say that? Because when Paxton, you have to remember, Paxton beat John Cornyn. John Cornyn was part of the Republican Party that built the Republican Party. The Republican Party that has held sway in Texas for the past 3 decades. I told you I've been a Republican for 4 decades, going way back to my college days. That Republican Party, the party of John Cornyn, the party of George W. Bush, the party of Rick Perry, that party is the party that built the framework, it's the Chamber of Commerce, the county organizations, the county officials, a whole slew of Republicans over these past 3 decades, but they are not MAGA Republicans. And see, this is the rub with the Republicans, because when Paxton beat Cornyn, I've said before, it was the end of an era. So Now they have to pick up that mantle. I'm talking about these MAGA Republicans that Paxton, and Paxton now is the face of the Republican Party in Texas. And a lot of the Republicans aren't buying it. There has been polling that says that there are some Republicans that will vote for Greg Abbott but will not vote for Ken Paxton. That does not mean that they will vote for Talarico either. And that's the factor that the Republicans are going to have to deal with. And the big money donors, they're not coming over to Paxton. Cornyn still hasn't endorsed Paxton. Cornyn was a money machine for the Republican Party for years. I think I saw something that he raised like $400 million for the Republican Party. And that's why the Senatorial Committee, the National Senatorial Committee, Republican Senatorial Committee, backs Cornyn. Cornyn had every backing of the establishment Republican Party. And this is where Paxton is having problems because he's not their kind of Republican. See, when he goes on news conferences or and I know y'all seen him running away from news conferences when they ask questions that he doesn't want to answer. But let me show you this. See, Paxton can't stand on the Bible. He can't stand on family values. He can't stand on anything that the Republicans have touted that they built this Republican Party on that has held sway in Texas for the past 30 years. Paxton, that's not Paxton. That is not Paxton. Let me show you. When he goes, if he's not running away, he has to he's subject to this.
Said that you cannot be a Christian and support the oil and gas industry. Now, I think that's in Leviticus, I think. If you can help me with it, I'm looking, but that's where I'm guessing. And then, of course, he also said that you
See, that's the kind of stuff. Saying, and that's a Republican. That was to a Republican audience. So while Paxton stand up there, quoting Leviticus, you cheated on your wife. Yeah, he couldn't run away from that one. But that's the kind of pushback that he is getting, and he's getting pushback from donors who aren't coughing up the dollars yet. And Cornyn is not. No, I mean, Cornyn, hey, it's on you now, Paxton. So it'll be interesting to see what happens as this summer goes. In all seriousness, y'all, it'll be interesting to see how this thing goes as the summer goes. But who benefits from this right now? And if it stays like this, if it continues like this, and there's no indication, that's the thing, that for those of us who watch this kind of thing, there is no indication that this will turn in Paxton's favor. And if it continues this way, Talarico benefits because it validates what Talarico has said all along, that Texas is genuinely competitive. Paxton benefits, if he can, by waking up the Republican donor base that's right now not showing any interest, and waking up a Republican voter base that's so far not showing a whole lot of interest. So the Democratic Party in Texas will benefit if they can capitalize on the momentum with Talarico in getting more people to register to vote, getting out the vote, and organizing and in competitive places in Texas. And the National Republican Party benefits if Paxton can turn this thing around. And it'll be interesting to see if he can. But right now, is Paxton has two opponents. He has Talarico, and he has the traditional Republican Party in Texas that is so far saying, hey, this is on you. But one thing I do know about Republicans being one forever, Republicans come home. They may not like it. They may be, just gritting their teeth and doing it. But one thing traditionally, historically about Republicans is that Republicans always come home. And Paxton's going to need them to. Because right now, I think Paxton is something like 89%, not quite 90% of Republicans saying that they will vote for him. Whereas Talarico has like 97% of the Democratic Party, people who likely voters saying that they will vote for him. So we'll see how that goes. And if that number holds, and if you have Republicans still saying, I will vote for Abbott, but I will not vote for Paxton. And then when you have a so respected Tarrant County Judge Glenn Whitney, somebody like that coming out strongly against Paxton because of all of this baggage, and for Talarico, that doesn't bode well for Paxton. So when he yelled, we need help, he wasn't exaggerating. The Republicans need help. And it is something to watch because we have never been here in this place before. Not even with Beto O'Rourke. We've never been here even with Beto. Never. So it's going to be interesting to see now what is the takeaway? Because y'all know I always want to leave your leadership takeaway. I'm going to start doing that. Not that I'm so great, but I've been at this a long time. And I just kind of know how it goes. The leadership takeaway for Paxton and for any campaign and any person running for office: be careful them bridges you burn. Be careful, because you may have to cross them again, and it ain't no guarantee that they will be there when you get ready to cross them. I'll see y'all next time, and we will keep a watch on this. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.